Hey guys, SneakySnake here, Brothers in Arms, World of Warships, and today's video is the fourth installment into our Tactics and Strategy series, and this one is all about being bottom tier. Taking a look at the team layouts, there's an enemy Iowa and Dmitry Donskoy, two very powerful tier 9 ships. There's a trio of enemy Tirpitzes and a Bismarck. There's an Edinburgh, an Atago, two Fubukis, a Benson, and the only tier 7 being a Myoko, which is the ship that I am playing in here on the map Sea of Fortune, and I'm divisioned up with my two buddies, ElasticSpyder in his Blishkevika, and B-Ray, one of our subscribers that we decided to play with, and he's in his tier 7 premium British light cruiser, the Belfast. So, being bottom tier is something that a lot of people do not like in World of Warships, and rightfully so. You certainly are, at least on paper, the weakest of the ships in the game, and it's something that I think is more of a mindset. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to do with tactics or there's certain strategies either, but it's definitely a mindset. And even when you are bottom tier, you have to think to yourself, how am I going to be able to influence the game? And quite frankly, there's a lot of people that will voice their displeasure with being bottom tier or even mid tier in the chat. It happens all the time. You'll see people get very frustrated and they'll vent those to the teammates in the game, and they'll be like, oh man, I don't have any chance, or I just might as well go sail forward right now and die because I'm no use to the team. And it's something that, I really don't agree with at all. And if you want to be a really good player in World of Warships, you not only have to be successful when you're top tier, when you're big dog, the big guy on campus, and say your battleships and you're the queens of the seas, and you want to get some nice damage done, but when you're bottom tier, it's also important to do as good as you can, because not only do the credits and the XP scale for doing damage to higher tier ships, so you get proportionally more credits and XP for obvious reasons, which I just mentioned, but also it makes you feel really good. And the Myoko is a ship, at least for me personally, that I don't necessarily like. Now, I'm a very good cruiser player. You've seen plenty of awesome replays on the channel, and this one certainly will be as well, but this is a ship that I've struggled in. The reload is exceptionally long, at least from my opinion, on a cruiser at tier 7, and although it's just under 13 seconds, and that is pretty good, I'm a fan, at least at the mid-tiers of cruisers that have a faster fire rate, and that's probably why I really enjoyed the Bagioni, the Shores, and the Chapayev at tier 8, although I'd say that's more of a higher tier cruiser. Now, here at the beginning of the game, you can see there's the enemy Iowa coming this way. The enemy Fubuki got rudely driven away from the cap and taken a crap load of damage, over 16,000. There's an enemy Benson over here. There's an enemy Tirpitz. Now, I am spotted. However, my buddy B-Ray up here deployed his smoke in his Belfast. So what I'm going to do is take complete advantage of it, and that is one trump card that at least the Belfast has. So certainly I'm getting hooked up here with that smoke, but nonetheless I'm going to take advantage of it. And when you're bottom tier in your cruisers, the best thing that you can do is annoy the crap out of enemy battleships, specifically your Japanese ones, because they have really good chances of setting fires regardless of the tier that they're at. And you can see the first salvo on the enemy Tirpitz, I did manage to set a fire, and he is letting it burn. The second shell's fallen, and I set yet another one. Now obviously he has not really taken any damage, so to speak, so the decks and the superstructure are completely unsaturated, so I'm going to be landing fire after fire after fire, but nonetheless, that enemy Tirpitz has got to be careful because he's already lost over 10,000 hit points, and as I landed yet another solid salvo, 7 out of 10 shells, over 6,000 right there, the Tirpitz is in a lot of hurt, and I've already landed 20,000 points of damage as I line up a shot here on the Dmitry Donskoy. Now, I did switch to armor piercing as I was paying attention. My boy right there, D-Ray and his Belfast pointed that out to me as he was coming around the island, and I was able to get a solid salvo of just over 4,000 damage onto him with the first one. I do give him a love tap. Thank you very much, good sir. I'm looking for yet another shot. The forward guns, those shells are able to get out of, get in front of the island. They fall in on the Donskoy, and I get a couple more hits for 2,500 points, so 2 salvos, 6,500. So I forced a Tirpitz to use his damage control because I set him on fire twice, and I've gotten some solid armor-piercing shells on the Donskoy. Don't worry about that salvo right there. I thought I could squeeze it over the island. But nonetheless, 28,000 points of damage. We're winning the game 390 to 165. The enemy team is capturing B and Alpha. However, we're looking pretty good right now. So I'm still looking to get cheeky shots on that Donskoy. He's completely broadside and not paying any attention whatsoever. I wasn't paying attention either, but luckily the armor piercing from that enemy Myoko does just over 4,000 without landing any citadels, as I land 3k on the Donskoy. Now, this Tirpitz had already used his damage control, as you saw earlier, and he just blindly pushed into A, and I'm going to make him pay for it. I do have my rear turrets ready to go, and I do shoot them at the Tirpitz. Now, one terrible thing I should say about the Myoko is that it has extremely bad turret traverse. So I'm only able to get 2 guns, 2 turrets that is, but I managed to land 2 more fires fires on only 4 shells. And now that Tirpitz is going to burn for the time being because he, again, already uses damage control. So basically right here, I've lost a minimal amount of damage, and I'm just trying to harass these guys. And that's a very good tactic, and one that I definitely say you should be doing when you're in your bottom tier cruisers, just trying to get high explosive fire on those enemy battleships. Now, he did get his his damage control back, I should say. So now I get the full weight of my broadside to bear on the enemy Tirpitz, and I want to continue to set fires. And there we go, 5,400 damage, 2 more fire set, and now that Tirpitz is in big trouble. He's already got 2 burning. You can see the entire superstructure is just absolutely cooking, and I continue to spam my high explosive. Could have gone with armor piercing there, but nonetheless, 3,200 points of damage, and I launched my other side of torpedoes, my port side of torpedoes, at him as he is trying to maneuver his way around the island, just launching them just in case I took a punt. Wasn't exactly sure where he was going, but you can see his health is just absolutely getting taken care of as my shots go just past his ship. Up to 62,000 points of damage. If I were to die right now, get completely devastated, I would be okay with this game, to be honest with you. I would be absolutely okay with it. Now, let's see here. The torpedoes are tracking very good. It looks like 2 of them are going to hit. Only needs 1. Bada boom. There we go. And I get the Arsonist. That's a solid medal to get in your low tier or bottom tier ships. Certainly so, when you're taking care of enemy battleships. So, 1 ship destroyed, 71,000 points of damage, 6 fires set, just under 50 shells have impacted the target, 1 torpedo. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Now, that Donskoy also pushed into A, getting very, very cocky, and another double fire. RNG was smiling on me this game, that much is for sure. Getting more shots now on the Donskoy. He is losing more and more hit points. Very good stuff. You just look at how bad he is burning. Get another solid salvo to land. Get 9 out of 10 shells for almost 3,000 damage. He continues and continues to burn. I'm looking for the kill shot here. There we go. Shots are out. He's got 2,700 hit points. Going to follow the shells in on the target. And a subdued. There we go. Second kill of the game. 86,000 points of damage. And that is an enemy tier 8 Tirpitz and an enemy tier 9 Dmitry Donskoy taken care of. And as I continue to move my way around the island, I got the armor piercing load of this enemy. Atago was not paying attention. He dodges some shells from a friendly ship. I get a full broadside out. Shells are in and on the way. Falling in on the target. Let's see what we get here. He disappears and, oh yeah, baby. 3 citadels, 3 overpens. Very solid damage done. I don't think he was expecting that. And I've just cracked 100,000, 105,077 damage to be specific. Reload the high explosive and shoot the 2 forward guns at the enemy Tirpitz. Now, obviously, this has been an absolute riot. 573 to 59. We just captured objective Bravo. The enemy team has gotten absolutely destroyed. But you see here, staying at range, I've only lost 4,000 hit points, and I've done 107,000. So I have done over 25 times more hit points to the enemy team than I have taken in return. And that right there, that's more than awesome. That's just absurd. Letting a lower tier or a bottom tier ship do that to you, if you're on the enemy team, that's sad. You really should not let that happen. Obviously, I'm a good player, but when you're just giving up free damage to ships that are, at least, again, on paper or in theory, not necessarily the biggest threat in the game, that's a problem. That's a really big problem. And once again, shooting at this Iowa over here, he's not paying attention, just getting some decent damage in. Over 2,000 there. Did not set a fire, but nonetheless, I'm going to go deal with him. And as I was heading around to the side of the island, I decided, okay, I'm going to rush down that Iowa. He's pretty much been sailing in a straight line the entire time, so I'm going to continue to get some more shots over here on these enemy ships. There's a Myoko, a Tago, and a Tirpitz, and as I continue to do that, I'm going to sail straight for that Iowa, and when he comes right around the corner, I'm going to go in for a close-range torpedo boat attack. Very, 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 how should I put it? A very dangerous maneuver. I'm trying to figure the right words for myself. Shots falling in on the Atago. There we go. 7,027 damage, a citadel, and a couple penetrating strikes. Very good stuff. The armor piercing on Japanese cruisers is very good, actually. And a lot of people don't realize that if enemy cruisers are giving you a broadside and you're able to get a full salvo out, they can do some very nasty damage. Now, once again, the subscriber, my boy, laying down some smoke, letting myself get into position, or at least get through the smoke and go off in detection for at least 10 seconds, and those 10 seconds really do matter. 121,000 points of damage. Again, 2 ships sunk. Shells fallen in. There we go. That is the 3rd ship destroyed for myself, and now I'm swinging my guns to bear on this enemy Myoko. He takes about 10,000 damage. I do take a nasty salvo from him, but unfortunately, he's only got 2,000 hit points, and yeah, that salvo looks pretty good. There we go. 4th ship destroyed. 124,000 points of damage, and now I'm only 4.5 kilometers away from this enemy Iowa, and I'm getting ready for a close-range nuke, hopefully getting the Kraken. 799 to 46. We have absolutely decimated this enemy team, and yeah, I'm in a Tier 7 cruiser, Tier 9 game, but hey, I guess this result hasn't been too bad, has it? Now, this Iowa is waiting for the nuke. Note to self there, what is it, Assassino 117. If you shoot right at my bow, your 16-inch guns will be able to easily over-penetrate. So anyone that has an Iowa, or if you're watching this replay, you really should have shot before you let me get to the side. Because now, as I'm coming in, right as I'm about to launch my torpedoes, I'm going to start to turn in, and I'm going to provide a very exaggerated broadside, and kaboom, there we go. I only take about 8,000 points of damage. And unfortunately for me, I thought that one of my torpedo tubes got destroyed, so I was only able to land 3 of the torpedoes, get 3 floodings. Nonetheless, that Iowa is just evaporating on his hit points, and before I'm able to swing my guns to bear and finish off the kill, the game ends. Taking a look now at the post-battle results, 388,000 credits received, just under 6,000 total XP, an arsonist and a high caliber, 165,000 points of damage done. Very good stuff. 100 target hits, 4 torpedo hits, 4 floods, 4 ships destroyed, 4 citadels, 4 incapacitations, a lot of 4s there, 1 base defended, 1 assist to base capture, and 12 secondary hits. Taking a look at the team scores, 2,605 points of base experience. Very, very meaty number there. This is the best game that I've ever had on my Myoko by far. And once again, it comes when I'm bottom tier. So remember, guys, do not get discouraged. Do not get flustered or frustrated when you're bottom tier. The matchmaker has to do it to you. Just know that whatever you're going to do in your ship, maybe do it a little bit more cautiously. It obviously helps to be division up with some players that know what they're doing, but regardless of that, just take things a bit more cautiously, and you'll do fine. So just have that good mindset. Trust me, having a good mindset when you're playing this game, it really helps. It can get frustrating at times, but just know that you can have results just like this if you take it one step at a time, think it through, and you'll be fine. So with that being said, the Sneaky Snake here for Brothers in Arms World of Warships signing off. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you later.